What is water resources sustainability? Sustainable water management means the ability to meet the water needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to do the same. Water sustainability also means effective and holistic management of water resources. A question that is often asked, is water a sustainable resource? Water is at the core of sustainable development and is critical for social economic development, healthy ecosystems, and for human survival itself. Water is a finite and irreplaceable resource that is fundamental to human beings and only renewable if well managed. How can we use water resource more sustainably? There's about at least 10 ways to conserve water for sustainable living. And to begin with, it's to turn off faucets when they're not in use, soak dishes in warm water, run the dishwasher and laundry when it is full, cut long showers short, use energy-efficient water-saving devices, use a water softener to combat the hard water problems, fix plumbing leaks, limit the use of water sprinklers and the gardening hose, use drip irrigation to water plants, and reuse water for landscape gardens. What is the major uses in California? Water in California is shared across three main sectors. Statewide, average water use is roughly 50% environmental, 40% agricultural, and 10% urban. Although the percentage of water used by sector varies dramatically across regions and between wet and dry years. What are the three main contaminants in groundwater in the Central Valley? Arsenic, hydrogen, sulfate, and radon are all leaked out of soils by percolating groundwater and can be found in California's aquifers. Arsenic is a semi-metallic element used in wood preservatives, agricultural chemicals, herbicides, and pesticides. Where does the Central Valley get its water? Where does the Central Valley get its water? The water is transported 450 miles from Lake Shasta in Northern California to Bakersfield in the southern San Joaquin Valley. It provides water for nearly 2.5 million Californians and more than 3 million acres of farmland. I'd like to point out the California Water Action Plan, which is a roadmap designed to put management of the state's water resources on a safer, more sustainable path in the face of climate change, population growth, and a crumbling infrastructure. The plan was established in 2014 as an important commitment for the state to move forward and address our significant water challenges, particularly during the recent severe statewide drought. However, it has been acknowledged that the plan could better recognize the inherent connectivity of the system and the role that individuals and communities can consider both in implementing the plan and sustainable management of the resource. Another big question that is often asked is, will we run out of water in the year 2050? The 2018 edition of the United Nations World Water Development Report stated that 6 billion people will suffer from clean water scarcity by 2050. This is the result of increasing demand for water, reduction of water resources, and increasing pollution of water driven by dramatic population and economic growth. Important things to know about the Central Valley and water. Central Valley includes water from the Sacramento River, San Joaquin River, and Tulare Lake Basin. It consists of water channels and man-made islands. The Delta serves as a vast switching yard for much of the state's water supply, including drinking water for 23 million people, ranging from the area of the Bay Area, Central Valley, all the way through San Diego. Fresh water is channeled to two massive pumping stations, one owned by the state and the other by the U.S. Bureau of Reclamation. From the state facility, water enters through pipelines, tunnels, and canals including the 444-mile-long California aqueduct that carries it to residential users. The federal pumps divert water to farms of the San Joaquin Valley, the core of the U.S. fruit and vegetable production. Groundwater. The groundwater typically accounts for about 30% of statewide water use in a year. It can be up to 40% in a drought year. Along the Central Coast, 90% of the drinking water is from groundwater. California uses more groundwater than any other state. Even in average rainfall years, more groundwater is used than is replaced by precipitation, stream seepage, or artificial recharge systems. Annual statewide overdraft is estimated by the Department of Water Resources to be approximately 1.4 million acre-feet in a normal year. Groundwater sources are recharged by precipitation, surface, runoff irrigation, or by using imported water injected back into the aquifer or used in lieu of groundwater pumping. When there is no rainfall, snowfall, or other source available to recharge the aquifer, it can become overdrafted. Overdrafting can result in lowered water tables and increased energy costs for pumping. Overdraft can also lead to land subsidence, as well as cause seawater and other contaminants to evade the aquifer. In 2014, the state of California adopted historic legislation to help manage its groundwater. The Sustainable Groundwater Management Act, also known as SGMA, according to the Act, local groundwater sustainability agencies, GSA, must be formed for all high and medium priority basins in the state. Regarding levees in the Delta are a concern. There are 1,600 miles of levees that protect the Delta and channel water through the area. Most of these were built soon after the gold rush. Since 1850, 95% of the wetlands and tidal marshes have been leveed and filled, with resulting loss of fish and wildlife habitat. Much of the network of levees through the Delta has been built only 100-year flood standards, and levees have failed 162 times in the past 100 years. Home to many species. Many species of fish, including salmon, steelhead fish, and the Delta smelt. Currently, the Delta is harming these species. The Central Valley Project, conceived as a project to protect the Central Valley from crippling water shortages and devastating floods. The federal Central Valley Project funded the project at its start in 1935. It lends assistance in irrigation, municipal and industrial recreation and fish and wildlife, hydroelectric power, food and control, water and quality. Route to the peripheral canal. The goal of this video is to bring awareness of the Central Valley, how it receives its water, and how to sustain the water supply. Central Valley is consisted of receiving water from Sacramento River, San Joaquin, and again, Tulare Lake Basin. Groundwater accounts for 30% of statewide water use in a year. Groundwater contamination is a concern. The levees that were built to protect the Delta and channel water through an area are unreliable. The Delta is harming the wildlife that live there. Many fish species are becoming extinct. Central Valley Project assists in water supplies and control and is a major water conservation development project. There is a proposed peripheral canal that would allow more water to be diverted while also aiding in the restoration of the Delta. It is no secret that water is the most critical substance for sustenance of life. And yet the prognosis of the quality and supply of both local and global water resources is somewhere between troubling and dire. Hopefully, this video will help broaden your thinking on ways our human numbers impact water systems. As you explore this topic, think about how these issues affect your own community, city, country, and other places that interest you. What population changes are happening there? What problems do growing populations have, or might they have? How can you create a sustainable solution? We all can make a difference.